Hey, it's Nicole. Hairly Relatable, episode number 5. I am coming to you from an undisclosed location right now because I have come to the realization that I just can't always record at this, the salon because I'm busy. And then sometimes I just want to go home. So I'm actually at my dance studio in between classes. And you know what? It's quiet. It's nice. It's a safe place. So I figured, what else better to talk about than hairstylists and their hobbies? And right now in New Jersey, it is the beginning of busy season. And typically, as stylists, we tend to burn the out. And I think that a great episode going into December is definitely hairstylist holiday burnout, but also taking time for yourself during the season is so important. And getting out of the salon because we spend so much time behind that chair. And to get out of our element and into other safe places, not only for our mental health, but just to change the scenery and get different people and different energy and just a sense of community is so super important. So we're gonna call this episode Holiday Burnout Hobbies Hairstylist Edition, and welcome to Hairly Relatable. I am your host, Nicole. Thanks again for joining me. Hairly Relatable is a bi-weekly show. I started this journey and just to bring awareness and a sense of community to hairstylists. And not only that, for clients as well, to get an opportunity of a little insight of what we feel and our kind of take on what we are as hairstylists and our struggles and stuff. Because sometimes when we leave for the day and we're smiling and we have all of these great ideas and creativities flowing, we kind of crash and burn. That definitely happens, especially around this time of year. So buckle up, let's get into it. And I just again have to say that what things that I talk about necessarily don't reflect the views, policies, and opinions of Beautiful Ranch Salon, where I work at in Westwood, New Jersey. So let's tap in a little bit to talk about, first and foremost, November. November came and went here. It's actually December 1st, so happy December. And my November was definitely out of the ordinary because I decided to book a week-long vacation. Now, that is not typical in any way, shape, or form for being a hairstylist because Thanksgiving usually is such a busy time of year, but fortunately and unfortunately, I decided to give birth on November 21st. So my child was celebrating its 10th birthday, and it was a big deal this year. And I decided that it was just necessary. And I also feel like November is a push month because it, well, definitely was a push month for me. But that's funny, pun intended, right? But it is definitely such a month that base of like the summer, August, so then you have September, October, November. That's like 3 months. And that's like that just bulk of the kids going back to school, everybody's working, and the daylight savings time that we have here in, the US of A decides to change those damn clocks back. So 5 o'clock at night, it's dark as hell out. So what time is it? It's late. My body's shutting down. I work with windows, and those windows that we see at 3:30, you're late out, it's bright out, and then all of a sudden you look outside and it's pitch black. You're tired. You want to go home. You're yawning. I mean, I know I am. So it's really just a bummer. your body really, really, I mean, I feel like my body does the mode of season, and seasonal depression really exists, right? So the cold, the change of air quality, lack of sun and sunlight. And it is not summer. Some people like the cold. All right. Oh, weird. I don't like pumpkin. So you can take your pumpkin spice lattes. I don't drink them. So I drink iced coffee year round. We all know that. So we really struggle. I really struggle. Some of us do. And that whole stigma of that bulk of getting back to school. And by November, I'm just freaking shot. And this push month of oh, get your holiday appointment in, get booked, get booked. You know, a lot of people are proactive and they do their holiday shopping, but I feel like they also want to wait for their hair appointments too. And how many of you guys are? And you wait until the very last minute. So I took a leap of faith this year and I said, I'm gonna take the week off. Now, Thanksgiving also fell really, really late this year. For some reason, it was the last week of the month. So I feel like that also kind of helped in the way that I was able to take the week before off. And I did work the day before Thanksgiving Eve Wednesday, had Thanksgiving off. I always work Black Friday. How many of you guys do? I don't know, but I'm there for my clients. And it was a pretty busy day. I had a lot of haircuts that day. I didn't have a lot of colors. And then Saturday I worked as well. And coming off of my vacation, of course I was exhausted, but I still showed up for work and got through that day. Now insert December 1st. Happy December. I'm not gonna lie. Saturday when I got home, my body felt like chaos. It was destroyed. Now, look, right? I'm Gen X. We all know that. And I talk a lot about taking care of your body, your mind, your soul, and all of that. And I'm super into that wellness, which we will get into in more podcasts. And here I am right in my dance studio, which I took a class. Movement is medicine, and eating right, and all of the above. And yet, the Gen Xers, we've been doing this for a long time. And I'm telling you, my shoulder today, this morning when I got up to, I had a stretch. And like, I do some yoga poses, and yoga is so good. But like, I literally spend every waking minute at a gym, at a class, taking yoga, doing all the things. No, I can't. I physically can't. I financially can't. Like, let's honestly call it like it is. So all of these things to like prevent burnout, and that's good for me. I want to do. I have a good intention of doing, but man, sometimes I gotta shut down and just say no. Or like Saturday when I felt like that, I knew what I needed, and that was rest. And I never understood this because I was a kind of party girl and I physically could do it. I don't know how. And there's some nights that I push myself to if I have an event or whatever. But I got my comfy clothes on and I had made some veggie lasagna Friday night and preheated the oven to pop it in. We had some dinner, and around 8:30 at night, I like got into bed. I actually scrolled on my phone. Now, mindless, yes, kind of silly, probably. I mean, sending reels to friends, of course. Laughing, fine. It was funny. I found some funny content, and it had nothing to do with hair. That's the best part of it all, because I needed to disconnect. And this after a week of actually no social media. So like my brain wasn't even conditioned to even into going there, into hairland again because I had just come back from the salon and I was like, shut down, burnout, level 10 after just going back to work. So here's the other half of like what we do, because not only are we hairstylists behind the chair, but now in the year 2024, going to be 2025, we're content creators. We are, some of us book our own clients, and I still handle some bookings. Thank goodness for online booking. Like, we're so much more than just behind the chair. So there comes this heavy blanket of just all the things that we do. And it, me taking on this podcast too was an added layer. However, it brings me joy and I really do like it. It's just the things that like bring me joy, such as dancing and taking these classes. Like, I can't overdo it because I want to be able to enjoy it when I do and not feel stressed about like, oh my gosh, I have to get to class, or I have to pay for this class, or like, how am I going to edit this podcast? I have no time because I really don't have any time ever. And that's why I decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to jump on in between class, after class, and sit down and maybe throw on the microphone and set up shop. And here we are. And I bet you this is really going to relate with a lot of people. It's just relatabilities. Get it done while you can, because it doesn't have to be set where you get it done. Just get it done. And that's where you're not going to burn out and throw yourself into that mission critical of what am I doing? Where am I going? And freak out mode that you're on that level. And that's how you're trying to avoid it. So keeping your mind healthy, physically getting things done when and where you can, and trying to listen to your body. So what I was saying before I ran into my tangent was, when I felt like chaos, I got into my comfy clothes after dinner and I like rested. And it used to be so hard for me to do that and crawl into bed and scroll and mindless and just really try to disconnect from everything. And I probably wound up falling asleep at some point. And sleep is really, really hard for so many people, including myself. And I don't think as an adult, a lot of us get really good sleep. But, you know, it like life changes. So anything that we can do to help, I guess, is a good thing. And today I did wake up feeling so much better. And it stinks sometimes, you know, having to play good day and bad day and having to fight through those bad days when you wake up and you're not rested during this time of year. I'm talking about especially anytime, really. I mean, anytime that you're working, you want to show up 100% for your clients and at your work. And that's how I like to operate, right? Like up here always, but especially this time of year, you're fighting traffic, more traffic for some reason. I don't know why there's triple the amount of people out, but you're fighting so much more. You're fighting traffic. You're fighting more people. You're fighting other people having that same amount of chaotic energy everywhere. And maybe you're fighting their energy on that level of burnout of all the things that they need to do. So it kind of comes full circle, right? Because it's a balancing act of how they're feeling too. And it tends to bring a lot of stress to people. And sometimes even it's not always the happiest and most cheerful time of the year either. And I feel like as a hairstylist, you also have to be very, very delicate when you handle certain situations, and you have to be on your toes to do that. And that helps when you are rested and mentally prepared to do that. And rest and mindfulness absolutely is the key component to staying your best during this holiday season and avoiding burnout. So, keeping all of those things together is relatable in any kind of line of work, I think. And it's so important. Like, some people who have really good support systems, I am lucky to have a good support system as well. And I have a cat, and that is my emotional support cat, and she's wonderful. And some people have their animals, and maybe they water their plants or like whatever brings you joy. And reading a book, like I take my dance classes or hobbies like crocheting. There's so many like things that bring you joy and gets your mind off of those hard days, those hard nights, but also brings stimulation. So at the end of the day, all of those things that do wire your brain for that level, you could take it all out and give yourself what I gave myself the other night. And that was, after the scrolling, after all of that, 5 minutes. They're funny. They're listening to Wicked in there. I think they're doing the dance. If you can just give yourself like 5 minutes of silence, they're amazing. It would be so good because that is the stuff that I'm laughing. The timing was immaculate on that. I love you guys so much. I like, give yourself silence, and they're like, Wicked. I haven't seen it yet. Comment right now if you saw Wicked. I saw it on Broadway back in the day. So for cutting back in, the Wicked soundtrack just went on. Very loud. I love it. I love my friends. They're dancing to it right now. But that was awesome. What I was saying was, give yourself 5 minutes before it goes back on and the dance and the class resumes. But give yourself 5 minutes of silence a day and what your body needs, and keep up with your hobbies like dance classes, because honestly it does bring you joy and it keeps your mind so solid for all of these holiday hustles and bustles. And I'm actually going to do a part 2 of this in December for mindfulness during the holidays for hairstylists. I'm going to kind of do like a client side of it, what I think as a hairstylist like is good for clients mindfulness. So, and to avoid like the hustle and bustle, especially for doing your hair. So I think like a 2-part, like how to avoid holiday burnout is good. I might throw an extra bonus, relatable episode in there somewhere if I can grab my microphone and a plug in somewhere nice that I can like throw something in, and the Wicked soundtrack's going back on again. So this is amazing. It's Nicole with Hairly Relatable. Thank you for joining me. Thanks again for joining me. Hairly Relatable. Follow me on all platforms at Hairly Relatable. And like, comment, share everything. We're gonna have so much fun in 2025. I have so many ideas and like not enough time, right? So awesome. Bye. I don't want to get flagged for infringement copywriting, guys. I should go bring the camera in there. Can you guys hear it? Probably. If I could hear it through the headphones, right? I can't hear anything from blow dryers.